our buddy Marc Spears on the River Islands guest line is there. He is in the arena, and we get to talk to him. Hi, bud. What's going on?
Man, y'all missed a good event, man. A couple of days ago, me and Bruce Bowen did a dinner, three-time champion, former Spurs, Kendall Jackson wine dinner, man. One of these days, y'all going to show up, man. We keep doing these dinners with this amazing Kendall Jackson wine from the whole family, but you guys never show up to it.
I need that text message, and I need to get off work about an hour early to be able to get somewhere for dinner time, Mark.
Yeah. I'll send a private jet next time, man.
All
See
right.
if I get to come in.
Reese, now we're talking. Hey, give us a sense.
Yeah.
Grandy was just detailing some of the numbers have come in on game one, and it was like the most watched finals
Crazy,
game
right?
in 7 years, and the most watched game one since Steph and LeBron. About 8-9 years ago. Give us a sense of what the building is like for these games.
Man, San Antonio is really nervous. It's been a lot of anxiety in the town over the last 2 days, and the fact that a lot of Knicks fans have come to town saving money isn't helping. Everywhere I go in downtown, there's Knicks fans talking trash, rubbing the salt in the wound. And so what certainly adds anxiety is that no team in NBA Finals history has ever gone down 2-0 and came back and won. So the series is literally online for the Spurs tonight and for the Knicks. I mean, if they're to win tonight, man, you can start spreading the news a little bit, right? Like going back home, up 2-0. I mean, it would be unprecedented for them to lose. So to me, in a lot of ways, the series could end tonight if the Knicks figure out a way to win.
I'm curious, Mark, the basketball historian you are, what would be the comparison to Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs winning it in their first postseason experience? This feels incredibly rare what they're trying to do, and experience a big factor in this series as well. Maybe you point to experience for the Knicks as why they won game one. If the Spurs were to pull this off, is there a comp that we can use, that we can think back to?
Yeah, let me ask you guys this. Do you think the Warriors Curry's first championship is comparable?
They made the playoffs the previous 2 years.
I mean, you got to remember, like, this isn't Wemby's first season. You know, he's been in the postseason. He's been in the league a few years, but it's not normal to have a team, this young do this. I did think that they were going to have some growing pains like Oklahoma City did, like the Denver Nuggets did. I thought they would have some growing pains. And they still might. I mean, we'll see how this series goes, but I'd be lying if I wasn't surprised that, they made it this far this fast.
They definitely do feel maybe at least a year early, and so did that Warriors team, but this has happened a lot faster. Let's focus in on Wemby, though. I thought he was, and I hate saying this about a 22-year-old, felt like he was a little disappointing in game one. What kind of adjustment do you think he needs to make tonight?
I mean, they call him Wemby the alien, man. He was more like Mork from Mork in game one, man. He definitely wasn't special. He missed like 15 or 21 shots. He missed like 7 3-pointers. He had 6 turnovers. That's just too much. And I think the big problem with him was that he didn't start inside out. He started outside. And the first game of the season, I was at Wemby's first game. And I remember the statement that he made in that first game in Dallas. If you guys can remember that. Like, he was basically dangerous, going to the basket, dunking on everybody, being very, very aggressive, to me setting a tone as to what we were to expect this season from him. And then you fast forward to game one, he was completely the opposite. He was on the perimeter, and the Knicks' brilliant game plan, it didn't even matter if it was Cat, Hart, Brunson, whomever. They hit him when he came around screens. They hit him when he tried to go to the basket. And I think that affected him in some ways. And he certainly seemed pretty fatigued and tired. And so I talked to one of the Spurs players and they were telling me that he knows that in order for them to be successful, they have to go inside out, not reverse. So I expect Wemby to be certainly much more aggressive, taking the ball to the hole tonight from the post, getting some easy baskets, showing some authority, flexing a little bit, and not being so passive and allowing the Knicks to beat him up.
Mark, these are two teams that have built their roster in like opposite ways. You have the Spurs, who were built through, tanking or at least getting high draft picks and hitting on those picks. And you have the Knicks, who have made some smart signings, although at the time people kind of made fun of them for Brunson. And then you have some really aggressive trades like OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. The way that they built this roster, is that the way, with all the tanking stuff, is that the way the NBA is encouraging teams to build rosters with those kind of risks on the open market and on trades versus what the Spurs did, obviously?
Well, I wouldn't encourage giving all them picks up for Mikal Bridges, respectfully. That was a lot of picks for him, but they just they went the vet route. It's kind of almost like the route you see in college basketball right now. That's certainly really, really successful. And one thing that these Knicks do, they play team basketball. They play in a string. Ain't no ego there. They know who their star is. They know who their co-star is. Everybody else kind of falls in line accordingly. And so I just think that this is a team that, because there's so many veterans, they're going to be mentally ready to play tonight. They know what is at stake. And I think they're certainly going to be ready to, put the death grip on these guys tonight. These guys are smart. They're vets. They know what they could accomplish. They can know that at least they can start ordering the champagne if they win tonight.
Marc Spears.
One of them, I don't think any of those guys have tasted it.
Marc Spears with us, ESPN, courtesy of Kendall Jackson Wines. Mark is at Game 2, Spurs Knicks tonight. All right, Mark, we're at the risk of burying the lead here, at least our lead. Is LeBron coming to the Warriors or what?
That's a good question. I don't know that he even knows. I think a lot of it depends on, I'm curious to see what offer the Lakers make him when free agency starts. Obviously they have the most money to give him. I think they could offer him like $56 million, but how much do the Lakers want him back? Do they want to just, give that money to Austin Reeves instead? And to me, if the Lakers, lowball him, I wonder if that's something that, certainly could cause him to want to go into a different direction. Because if you think about it, while on, storyline-wise, going to the Warriors and playing with Steph and Draymond would be great. And see a great story of going back home to Cleveland and finishing that. But that's a major pay cut, man. I ain't never seen nobody go from 56 to 4. Right? So I guess the bigger question for LeBron James is, what will the Lakers give him, one? And if the offer isn't one that he deems respectful, is he willing to just take much less to play for Cleveland, to play for Golden State? And I don't know that he has those answers quite yet.
Mark, with all those factors in play, would you characterize the Lakers still as the favorite to retain him? And if they don't, are the Warriors the next best bet?
I don't know that they're the favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's 3 teams in play. You got to put Cleveland in there, right?
Yep.
Because what they could certainly use him. They could use that veteran talent, that legend, that guy to maybe even kind of be a point guard for Donovan and James Harden. I do think he could be a great fit there, or Golden State. But I also felt that before Luka got hurt, that those 3 guys looked really, really good together. And so the curious thing to me is, what's the number that LeBron ends up getting offered from the Lakers? Is he willing to be a partner that would, hey, I'm going to take this cut in order to, help them sign Reeves. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know and I don't know if anybody knows what he's willing to take and what the Lakers are truly willing to offer. But once that becomes apparent, then we'll certainly know what the next step is.
Mark, I'm curious. Let's say that LeBron, for whatever reason, wants out of LA. They don't give him the money that he wants, and the Warriors offer him the what they can offer him is the $15 million non-taxpayer mid-level exception. Is it like a done deal that if LeBron would want the Warriors would want LeBron? Or are you hearing anything in that regard? Are the Warriors interested in LeBron, or are they still kind of sorting through what they might want to do this offseason?
I mean, I've been stuck in finals land, so I haven't heard any LeBron talk at all. But I just, in my heart of hearts, I can't see anything outside those three teams being where he might go, right? I mean, like, if he did play for the Warriors, you still don't have to do anything major with your family, other than maybe getting a roster spot with the Warriors for Bronny too. But he could go to practice and fly home.
Yeah, but you would think you would think, Mark, that the Warriors want him. Would you think that?
Why wouldn't they? Sure. Yeah, but I mean, to me, it's I can't see them for the right price not wanting him. But what is that price? Right? And then who else is in that play? Who else could they potentially get? Like, there's a lot of factors involved, and I think once the draft, you see who the Warriors select in the draft, see what free agents are available. Like, I do think there's going to be some movement before the draft. I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis is traded. I wouldn't be surprised if John Morant is traded. I'm keeping my eye on Sacramento possibly for John Morant. So, to me, there's some other balls that are going to drop in terms of stars moving, I think, by draft day before we get to LeBron James.
Marc Spears with us. And, Mark, before you run off to the game, I got a little bit of a fun one for you. If we just imagine LeBron being on the Warriors, my partner here said that it would be a circus, and Matt Steinmetz earlier today used the word zoo. What word would you describe if LeBron is on the Warriors?
I don't know about all that. I know the ticket prices will be higher. I know that for sure. But it'd be like watching a great old band play, right?
Right.
That's what it'd be like. So that's why I don't know that it would be a zoo, because those guys are too old for it to be a zoo.
So maybe not a zoo, but
like watching the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know, try to come up, like going to see the Beatles at, in their latter stages. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Well, if the Beatles play, that would be pretty incredible. But Mark, all right. So do you think the Spurs get this done tonight?
They got to. They have to.
Yep.
I still expect it to be a long series. And I feel like the Spurs are going to really make a statement tonight, and they have to, or it's over.
Enjoy it, man. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
I could tell y'all want LeBron to play for the Warriors. I could tell.
No,
boy.
not y'all. I do, but I've been trying to convince my guy across the table here for the last 48 hours to no avail.
Yeah, I do think Cleveland has something to say, but also I wonder how much Draymond and Steph are going to play in a role in recruiting him. Because if LeBron does want to come, I think Steph and, I wouldn't be surprised if Steph and Draymond try to figure it out.